my crafty and crochet friends. This is Travel Crochet and my name is Tracy. Welcome to another episode. The start of this episode is a little different to what I normally do because I'm going to compare Zaddy Crafts, a really good chenille yarn, which I got last week, and I hadn't had time to do a review on it before my market. Then today I also got this Portercraft blanket chenille yarn, which we can get here in Australia. My local yarn shop has it, and the thickness and texture of these are very comparable with each other. So I thought it would be a good comparison, and the price difference is pretty significant as well. All right, so looking at Zaddy Crafts, it is 100 grams. These are 100 grams as well. Although these Zaddy comes with 110 meters, these are 80 meters. However, by the time I got this yarn shipped to me and paid for postage, it worked out to be $9.73 per skein, where I'm getting this for $4.05 per skein. So big difference in price. When I work it out to per meter, Zaddy Crafts was 8 cents per meter, and I think this one was 5 cents per meter. So it is 3 cents per meter difference, but when you add up the meterage, that ends up being fairly significant. Then we look at the qualities. So I'll get the center pull. Now I have made 2 items with this Zaddy Crafts now. And the first night I was trying to make, I'll show you what I made, this little bluey. I was trying to make that before my market Saturday night, and then I got too tired, and I was that tired. I was making mistakes all the time, and I was frogging, and I was making it again, realizing I was making more mistakes. I frogged and sewed and everything, and there is definitely no shedding with this yarn. Absolutely no shedding. It is a dream to work with. It feels lovely. Now I'll just show you, there is definitely no shedding when you look at the Zaddy Crafts. Now I pull out, let's see if I can get the end of the Portercraft. Let's have a look here. Yeah. Where's the end? Oh, here's the end. All right. Now I haven't made anything with this one as yet, so I can't say for frogging and sewing as yet, but by the looks at the ends that it's come with here, that does shed. So already there's a big difference there. So I guess shedding or non-shedding, Zaddy Crafts definitely wins. But comparing the thicknesses, they look pretty close together. I think Zaddy's is, when I feel it, Zaddy's is less dense, I guess, but this one is meant to be a blanket chenille. Well, that's what they call it, a blanket chenille. But I guess with the thickness of Zaddy's, he doesn't call it a blanket chenille, but it is a chenille still, so they are comparable, but they're, yeah. I guess you can see the bottom one is the cheaper one. It's not as nice looking, I guess. So there we go. So I could see probably frogging issues and sewing issues with the cheaper yarn. That is for sure. But I must say, yeah, working with a really good chenille, it was lovely, lovely, lovely to work with. I guess my issue is affordability. just at the moment, a skein of yarn with postage being $9.73 is quite steep for me. I rarely buy anything this price range. It is just priced a little bit too high for my ability to pay consistently. So this one will probably end up being what I go to only because of affordability, not because that it's a better yarn to use, because I could see there will be frogging and, you know, shedding issues, but just for affordability, I can see that this is what I'll go to. So top shelf is this new yarn there. I'm not going to go through every single color because I don't know. I don't know if people like to see every single color of new yarn hauls. The second shelf there is the Zaddy Craft yarn, and then the third one there is the Timu yarn. I was going to go off the Timu yarn, but there was quite a few people at the market that made me rethink on the weekend, because the Timu yarn is a velvet yarn and it's silky and it's real and it's shiny and it's smooth, and people really like that feel. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people said the blanket yarn's nice or the chenille yarn's nice, but they actually really like the velvet yarn. So I think I'm going to have to continue buying the velvety Timu yarn, which I can get for about $4 a skein delivered, and $4 a skein for the blanket chenille. And unfortunately, Zaddy's, it is exactly, you get what you pay for. It is a higher classed yarn, but unfortunately a high class yarn comes with the higher class price. And just at this time of my life, this is not going to be a staple for me, just because I can't afford to buy skeins that is $9.70 a skein. That's once you work out postage. Absolutely, I can see why people absolutely love it and rave about it. Absolutely see it. Just affordability for me, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to continue to keep ordering it, which is a shame. I wish I could afford it, but I have found this bluey pattern, and it was that fast that I've actually made two already. So as if you saw the last video, I'm not going to be going to markets because I need to restock because I am out. So I'm trying to spend some time making smaller patterns that are faster if I can, rather than concentrating on larger items. I will need to restock larger items, but I think I need to do quite a few smaller ones first just to get some numbers up. But yeah, so this bluey, I didn't realize this is the pattern that Robin uses from Knotting Hook Crochet, and I didn't realize it was this one. So it's actually the same pattern designers that make the stitch that I do, the Shrek, the Donkey, Puss in Boots, same designer, Fennec Toys UA on Etsy. And it is great that there is some stitch count issues. I thought it might have been me in the first one. That's why I was frogging a lot, but it is actually, the count is wrong in several places. But once you sort of just learn that you're lining up this lighter blue here, you can sort of work it out and drop or add stitches as you need. And he actually doesn't have a tail in the pattern, so I just added a tail. I just did the same as the arm pattern, but just did the bluey tail colours. So yeah, I have already made two items, even though like today I was out about buying yarn and I went to Spotlight because they've got 30% sale on at the moment. Plus I got a voucher in my emails. that if I spent $50, I got $20 off. So I got 3 bags of the Hobby Fill. They're $1 each. So here in Australia, this is the biggest size that we can get, is 1 kilo bags. Normally $27, and I managed to get 3 of them for $36.70, something like that. So that was pretty good. So I've stocked up with yarn, stocked up with stuffing. So now I'm just going to lock myself down and make patterns. So try and restock as much as I can. So yeah, look, I know that usually people go through every single colour that they've got with yarn hauls. I don't know if you really want to see that. You'll eventually see all the colours when I make things. So there's been heaps of yarn reviews on Zaddy Crafts. I mean, you can go online on Zaddy Crafts line and see what colour range that he has. I mean, he's got a very good colour range. Definitely, you know, a really good product. I would highly recommend it if you can afford it. Just at this stage, I'm going to have to go with the cheaper version, unfortunately, because yeah, unfortunately, it's just not something that I can continue to afford. I did splurge and do that one Zaddy Crafts order because I wanted to see what all the fuss was about, but it's not, unfortunately, not going to be an ongoing thing that I'll be able to afford, unfortunately. But I guess I'm probably not the only person in this boat. Things are pretty tight these days, and yeah, we've just got to get what we can afford, I guess. So the next update will be updating you with what I've made Wednesday. So today is Monday, well, Monday evening now, and we will see you Wednesday with the rest of what I've managed to make in the next 2 days. We'll see you then. Bye. All right, I am back. It has been a couple of days since I recorded. Monday, as I showed you the yarn hauls, and the 2, I think I had 2 back then, blueies that I'd made. Now, I must say this bluey pattern is definitely the go-to pattern from now on. I can't remember how much I said of this first time around, but yes, much faster, decent size, sort of, you know, palm, hand size, and reasonably fast to make. So definitely this will be the bluey pattern from now on. Extremely happy. And as I said earlier, this was made from the Zaddy Crafts yarn. And I'd added a tail which is not in the pattern, and I made the eye patches myself. Everything else is part of the pattern. Anyway, yesterday we went for a huge drive to Brisbane, which is a 3-hour one-way trip. So we left about 8 a.m. I think in the morning, or just before 8, and got home about 6:30 last night. So I actually remembered for once to take some crochet stuff with me, and I made a pattern that I've never made before. I have seen quite a few people make it, and I don't know why I didn't make it before. It was the perfect pattern for in the car. I did take safety eyes with me, but I forgot the backs of them, so I had to make them up to the point of needing the safety eyes in, but everything else was ready to attach and finish off, which took 2 seconds when I got home. So in the car I made, hang on, I'll have to reach over and just grab these ones. To think which ones I made. I made some yesterday and I made some today. So this is the first one I made, and it's the jumping spiders. I do not know why I've never bought and made this pattern before, but I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. It is so fast. I think when I have everything available and next to me, like all the eyes and the stuffing and everything beside me, you can get these down to about 10 to 12 minutes completed. Like, they are so fast. So you make the front head part, the fangs are just colour change to make the fangs, and yeah, you put the eyes, although the black one, it's a bit harder to see the other set of eyes up there. Sometimes I think I should have put them down lower, but anyway. And then you make the body part and quickly sew that on, which takes 2 seconds. So this is handmade by Nicole on Etsy. Should have bought this pattern so long ago. This is part of the new lot of patterns that I'd recently purchased, and I am addicted. Like, I normally cannot, without a doubt, repeat bulk make something, but on the card trip I made this one, and I made this one, and I made this one and I made this one. So I made 4 in the card trip, and then since then I continued because I just love it. I made this one, and then I made this one and we'll just go on through all the colours that I have in any type of blanket yarn, basically. And that one. So I have made 9 jumping spiders all up. So you have them all together, the different colours, not too hard to see. But there's 9 jumping spiders. So my restocking has started with a bang. It's doing really well. Some of those spiders will go in mystery bags, some will be put out for sale by themselves. I'm actually going to try maybe the Aldi yarn to see if I can make them a smaller version, and maybe put keychains on them, because keychains are so popular as well. But I could happily make those non-stop all the time, love them. But then I moved on to my other favourite pattern, and because they've been selling again and I'm really low, I've started the sea turtles. And this is the pattern I use is Crochet Customs pattern. It is low sew, you do sew the head and fins on, but literally again from start to finish I can get these done in 15-20 minutes tops. Really fast make. I love the shape of the shell that it makes, and yeah, I absolutely adore these. So I made a sort of larger one, and then I made a medium one in that colour and another medium one in that colour, and then I made a smaller one in that colour. So 4 turtles all up. And again, this is another one that I can batch make. I've been missing making turtles. I haven't made them for quite some time, so absolutely adoring that. So that is all I've made, but that's been since like basically Monday, Tuesday. Today I was making some things, but then I was catching up on some housework and stuff that I should have done yesterday when we were all out all day. So but I think 15 items in a couple of days is not bad at all. But definitely highly, if you have not got this pattern already, highly recommend this jumping spider. If you want a quick make for markets, you could just pump these out so fast. I can see the kids absolutely loving these. Again, like I said, I definitely want to try and see if I can get one a smaller size and put on a keychain. I think that would be perfect. So yeah, I'm so wrapped with that. I do have other patterns that I haven't tried yet that I bought recently, and other patterns that I haven't tried yet, but I'm actually enjoying, I think it was just making that decision not to do a market for at least one market. We'll see how I go with the market prepping, maybe possibly two. But just giving myself that breather and just going, I'm going to have a play. If I want to make 50 of these, I'll make 50 of these. If I want to move on to something else, I'll move on to something else. So that has been really, really enjoyable. And I'm so happy that I've finally found a reasonably fast bluey pattern that looks like bluey, doesn't look like he's been run over by a truck like another one that I made. Yeah. I'm really happy with this one as well. So it's been a really good few days with market prepping. So I'm so happy. But the funny thing is, I got all that new yarn between the Zaddy's really good chenille and the other blanket yarn up that top. I haven't touched any of those yet. I've been just using the other like stash that I've got here, but I've also, up there is normally another basket where I put my sort of scraps that's not big enough to make a large project, but it has been enough to make these. So been doing quite a fair bit of scrap busting, which is fantastic. And I have another container that's not enough to be in little balls, but it's just anything that's kind of that length or around that length, I've been putting in another basket, and it's been perfect for doing the fangs on the spiders. So yeah, absolutely perfect working out. So I am so happy with how it's gone the last couple of days. I'm just going to continue making things like this. Tomorrow I'll start making up some mystery bags. We're starting to put some together. I have to work out what larger items I will make to put in them, obviously various types, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm really enjoying just having a break and just making whatever I want whenever I want, and not overly particularly looking at, oh, I sold all this is all sold out, I need to make that. I will get to them, but there's less pressure to do them now, and it's more able to make new patterns that I've bought if I want to, or if I want to go back to old favorites, I can. So yeah, really enjoying that. Now, what I forgot to say last video is Travel Crochet has turned 2. I can't believe it's been 2 years since I started this channel. Mind you, it's only been really since the start of this year, since we stopped traveling full-time and moved into the house, that I've really been concentrating on putting out regular videos and having, I guess, better content and more regular content. Just because when we were traveling, I never knew when I was going to have a market, and it was really hard to film in a caravan basically. So yes, but we are 2 years old now. And so to celebrate, I did put it at the end of the last video, but then I realized the other recommendation things kind of ended up going over the writing that I put on, so you probably didn't see that. I'm actually, to celebrate, having a special on my Leonard the Lobster pattern, and have him for 50% off. Now I have had that set to the 8th of August. I have had a few posts up on Instagram and Facebook about it, but I had forgotten, and I did do a community post here on YouTube as well, but I hadn't actually said it in the video. So you have 2 days left to get yourself Leonard the Lobster pattern at 50% off. Then that sale will be finished and it will go back to being the full price. Yeah, I thought it was, I mean, it's the only pattern I really have at the moment. I do have a couple of free patterns that I have on Instagram. I am thinking, I'm not sure if people want a PDF version of those that I could sell for, you know, like $1 for a PDF version of those. I've got the little Bob the Big Booty Frog, and I've also got my Baby Alien or Grogu pattern that is free on Instagram as well. Let me know if you'd like a PDF version of those, just for like $1. I'll just have to revisit those patterns to make sure I'm pretty sure I have PDF versions of those. I would have to somewhere. I could put them up on the website and just sell them for like $1. Just if I know some people would prefer a PDF rather than going through Instagram and looking at the pages and all that. I know I prefer that, so yeah, let me know if that's something you would like. And the only other thing I want to mention is this coming Sunday I will have my next live. I haven't had one for a while, so come and join me. It will be 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. As I said last video, I believe that is around 8 p.m. in Florida. If you're over that side of the world and want to work out from that timing when that may be. Otherwise, if you have a little notification bell on, if you're subscribed to me, you should get a notification when I go live. But yeah, so we'll see you then. I may even make some of these on my live, I think, because I was managing to make these and chatting with Chris in the car on the way to Brisbane and still managing to make 4 of them. So I've pretty much got that pattern down pat now. Don't need to look at anything. So I might make those just because they're fun and I want to keep making them. I can't stop. So I'll have to just, the ones that I end up putting in mystery bags, I'll have to make replacements. So I've got them to sell on the table. Anyway, that is all for tonight's video. Already did the yarn review previously, so I'll add that at the front of this video. You've probably already seen that bit. And we shall see you Sunday. I should also have a video out Sunday as well as the live, so you'll get 2 doses of me on Sunday. That may be a good or a bad thing, I'm not sure. Anyway, thanks again everyone for your support. I really, really do appreciate it. And yeah, if you want Leonard the Lobster at half price, go and check that link out. It will be in the description because you only have 2 days left to get it at 50% off, and that's probably, you never know if that will happen again. All right, thank you guys, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.